GamePlan, powered by Stack Sports, is the premier mobile video and document distribution system. It is intended to replace computer diagram playbooks and paper-based playbooks with the latest in mobile technology. Used by over 20 Major League Baseball teams and teams across NBA, NHL, NFL, and international programs as well, GamePlan truly is a leader in mobile delivery. We have also added some very powerful and sophisticated tools to the system to help provide more benefit across the organization, such as flashcards and quizzes for learning and knowledge retention, calendar for administrative purposes, and messaging for communication. I'd like to show you a little bit about how GamePlan works. On the right-hand side, you will see a video folder. On the left, documents. Let's start with video. Within the video folder, you will see a lot of subfolders. Those folders can be created and custom named by the administrator on the back end. What that does is it allows you to create folders based on your needs, and you can also share them with recipients based on their needs. In other words, you may not send a hitting report to the base running coach. You may not send the pitching report to the center fielder. There are certain areas that you would like to push content where you may not need to in other areas. That also gives you the ability to use this across your entire organization. You can share content with GamePlan to coaches, administrators, parents, athletes, and even officials. So let's show a little bit about how the video side works. If I were to click on a folder such as Texas Hitters, I'll see videos in that folder. If I looked into the Ross folder, I'll see other videos. Some have been downloaded, and you can see that by the download arrow not being available, and others have not been downloaded. GamePlan supports the streaming of video as well as the download of video to watch offline. We understand that internet isn't a given on planes, trains, and automobiles or in hotel rooms, so the ability to download valuable video and watch it while you're on the road is a key component of GamePlan. Let's jump into this example of the pitching versus right-handed hitters for Sonny Gray. I'll go ahead and pause this video to point out a few functions of the system. On the right-hand side, we have DVR capabilities allowing you to watch the video in slow motion, frame by frame, or fast motion. And those same tools apply on the left-hand side, where you can rewind the video frame by frame. We offer a valuable drawing tool by clicking on the pencil diagram, and here you can provide a grid on top of your video. A lot of our major league teams use this feature. This allows you to create quadrants in the batter's box. If I would like to add some text or draw on top of that, or maybe even an arrow, I can do all these things within the system. And if I'd like to share this image out to other users in the system, I would click the camera button on the right-hand side, allow it to access my camera roll, and then I'm going to share this image. You'll see now that it takes a screenshot of the image, and I can send it to my groups, my hitters, my pitchers, my base runners, or I can send it to individual players, depending on who the intended recipient is. This creates valuable engagement within GamePlan. I can decide to undo those by hitting the erase button and watch the video as is. A couple other things in the video that are important to point out, something widely used by our Major League Baseball organization partners, is the split screen feature. By clicking on File, you'll have the ability to split your screen. Once we do that, we can take another video. And for the purpose of illustration, I'll take the same video. We can now play those side by side. So I'll go ahead and pause the videos, and you'll see that the controls are on either side of either video. But there are also controls at the bottom. What that allows you to do is stack the videos. If I click the stack button, I've now overlaid the videos on top of each other. I could now use the controls at the bottom of the screen to telestrate, go frame by frame, as I'm doing now, or to play the video. As I mentioned, a very valuable tool and widely used tool within our Major League Baseball programs. The reason is that they can actually overlay the video to see a tendency of a pitcher. Does he tip his pitches in the seventh inning? How is he out of the stretch versus the windup? So there's a lot of functions that this platform or this feature provides within GamePlan. I'm going to go back into the video now and show you how you can also split screen with a document. This is a great learning function. Here, I have a Cubs hitting chart that I'm going to split screen with this video. I can pinch this open. I can look at left-handed pitchers with fastballs, and now I can play the video in conjunction with that document. Pinch it out, and I can turn this off as well and go right back to watching the video. Finally, if I want to go back into the video, one other point that I'd like to illustrate is your ability to add comments. So if I click the plus button with the little notation in the upper right corner, I can now add a comment to this. Let's just say this was a slider. I'm going to go in here and hit slider. And now what I've done is created a timestamp in the video with my notes. I could play the video.
Cabrera bats third. We'll give you the rest of the rundown in a minute.
I'll stop it again and add another note. And we'll call this a, curve ball. And I'll add those comments. So what I've effectively done is created timestamps in the video with comments. If I want to see that slider again, I just click on the slider button. It's going to jump right to where the slider was. If I open this again and hit curveball, it's going to jump to where the curveball was. So you can have the option in GamePlan to record valuable notes and teaching opportunities and use it as an ability to share that with your team. I can also, at any point, go into this video. Oh, let's go back to that video. I can go into this video here. And I can also look at the split screen with another video if I'd like to. So I would go to another video and I can split screen it there as well. So you have the option to use the system in a variety of ways on the video side. Now let's jump to the document side. Documents are another key component of GamePlan. Documents can be shared with a number of recipients. We accept PDF format and imagery as well. Excuse me, my screen had to recalibrate. So when I want to look at this video, I can actually, or this document, I can take my finger and I can scroll over. So I can go page by page and I can look at individual documents. I can also embed a video into my document. If I decide to do that and click the video button, I can take a video and I can put it on top of my image, or I can slide the video off to the side. I can record audio on top of the document by clicking the microphone button in the bottom right corner and recording my audio. If I hit that button again, it will end recording. You'll now see that there's a green notation in the upper right corner. So as a coach, I've gone ahead and taken my comments on this document and I can share this with anybody. Clicking this button, you'll hear my audio comments played back. Let's try it. The microphone button in the bottom right corner and recording my audio. If I hit that button again, it will end recording. So, in line with the video component, audio is a wonderful teaching opportunity for coaches. I can create notes on top of this, much like I was typing in a classroom. I can draw freehand. We'll go ahead and save that. I can bookmark my pages if I have a multiple page PDF. So there's a lot here you can do within the system. And then if I decide to share my comments, what I can effectively do is hit the share button and share them with my hitters, my pitchers, and my base runners, all directly to their mobile device. We've touched on videos. We've touched on documents. Let's get into some of the other features of GamePlan. On the bottom of the screen, you'll see a variety of icons, each of which has a lot of value to the video. If I click on my flashcard, what I can now do is look at my baseball knowledge training. Flashcards act as a traditional flashcard. You create a question and you provide the answer. There is no, what I like to call, a consequence to this. It's a simple teaching method that kids, or anyone for that matter, learning the game or trying to improve their knowledge of the game, can derive value from. Here is an example. Let's determine, is this a USA approved baseball bat? I could say no, and the answer is incorrect. See the logo. If I want to say no again, the answer is going to come up again. This can be used as many times as you want. When I say yes, oh, that's correct. Again, a no consequence way to provide a lot of information and a learning opportunity for your players, your coaches, and your officials. Officials, don't forget, are always learning as well. Rules of the game and understanding how the policies of this league may differ than other leagues. So giving them information as well is hugely advantageous. We have another question. What pitching grip is being shown here? I could say curveball. Oh, that's wrong. What if I went ahead and said fastball? That's correct. Fastball. Correct. So I'm just going ahead and just tapping this. This is for myself to use at any point and have the ability to now learn from this and be tested later on. What's the player preparing to do in this image? It looks like he's going to bunt. Let's click that. Oh, great. He is going to bunt. So now that gives me another visual opportunity and a learning capability in the system. Let's go back home to the screen. We've gone through our flashcard and that's helpful. Now let's jump into the quiz. Maybe we want to quiz ourselves and make sure we understand and retain that knowledge. So if I click on the quiz, now I have a couple questions to answer. What is the circumference of a baseball? Let's say 8 inches. True or false? Both feet must be in fair territory for the first baseman holding runners on first base. I'll say true. How would you score an error on the shortstop? I'll say E6. And finally, how many innings did Curt Schilling pitch in the Blood Sox game? I remember that one vividly. It was a wonderful outing, and I think he went 7. I'll hit next. Well, I've gotten 1 wrong answer, but 3 correct. So as the user, I'll just hit next again, and I'll look. Okay, well, let's try this again. Maybe it's 9. Oh, great. I've gotten all of them right now. When I hit done, you'll see that the quiz is no longer on my system. Pencils down. You can't change your answer at this point. You, as the administrator, would have the option to look at the responses of the quiz and determine what the answers, if they were successful or not, again, providing another valuable teaching opportunity within the system. If you want to communicate with your audience, you can do that from GamePlan as well. If I click on the message button, and I can receive a message or I can initiate it. If I decide to initiate a message using GamePlan, I'll click the plus button. Now that I've done that, I can select who I want it to go to. It can go to my groups, my catchers, my front office, my infielders, my minor league staff, or it can go to any of my players. Again, the message can be presented to Nico, and it can be customized. Meet me tomorrow at the south end of the stadium for batting practice. We'll go ahead and delete this message. The other thing I'd like to just briefly point out, going back to the documents function, you can distribute valuable information such as league rules. Here, we have league rules that need to be agreed upon and read before the game. Keep in mind that on the administrator side of GamePlan, the administrator has the ability to look at all the reports. Who downloaded this, who viewed this, who deleted this, and who hasn't opened it. So there are checks and balances associated with all aspects of GamePlan, from the consumption of documents to the performance of a quiz. Again, we can scroll over, we can embed video if we want, or we can elect not to. So each of the functions exists within the GamePlan system. We also offer valuable tools such as surveys, and we can sync with your calendar. So if we were to jump in the calendar here, we have nothing planned for today, but if I go to my larger calendar, my calendar will go back months or forward months. And I can do all of that just by clicking buttons and syncing with my Google Calendar or my iCalendar. You can also upload an Excel document into GamePlan, and that can act as a calendar input. A couple other features we have in the system are appointments. Appointments are interesting from an administrative standpoint. We're just going to jump back to earlier this year when we had some appointments lined up. Let's go to that date. What I've set up here is coaches' interviews. I've elected to have them in 10-minute increments, and I've also sent them out to all of my coaches. They're going to take a time slot, and we are going to meet during that time slot. So you have a administrative functionality from an appointments book as well. The system is completely robust, where you can have your calendar and your appointments synced together. Also, when it comes to flashcards, surveys, and quizzes, you have the option in GamePlan to completely customize these features. What that means is you create the question. It may be different for your U8 versus your U15. The sophistication of those players, the level in which they operate is going to be different, and so should the questions. The same thing with surveys and quizzes. You create the question and you provide the answer. Completely customizable. You can also put expiration dates on the system. When do you want them to publish? We all realize in the amateur youth world of sports that volunteers are critical to the evolution of a player and, frankly, functioning of an organization. So those volunteers may not have open time during the whole week, but they have to have something done by Saturday's practice. What they can do is use GamePlan to pre-schedule a document or a video and have it go out at a certain time. I can do my homework on a Tuesday and make it available on a Saturday. We like to cater to the efficiencies and the unknowns that happen during a typical work week. I also want to touch on the performance side. The performance journal is something that has gotten a lot of use, especially during the COVID timeframe. So I just went ahead and put some gibberish in here, but the performance journal is meant to extract valuable information from your athletes or your coaches and personnel when they can't be there in person. These are questions, again, created by an administrator. What did you eat today? How much and when? How much sleep did you get last night? And what's your standing heart rate? This data is going to be compiled in the back end of the system to enable you to look at a full season or cycle of data and really put a long-lasting impact into an athlete by tracking their trends and correlating it to their performance. You can assign multiple weeks and have the ability to go to a 52-week season or to any level of season you want. We happen to be in week 2 in this example. And finally, you can upload video to GamePlan as well. So when you upload video, you would hit the capture button or the upload button in the bottom right corner. When you want to capture the video and upload it, it will upload to your My Videos folder. So that allows you to capture video at home and upload it to your coach or an administrator when you don't have access to them in person. In the uncertainty of this COVID environment, remote communication and learning is vital. In maintaining the ability to have a player develop and evolve and improve his or her skill set is hugely important to the evolution of their athletic journey as well as the performance of your team. So engaging with them on a regular basis, being able to look at reporting and correlate that to performance on the field, it's hugely opportunistic for you to continue to thrive and grow your league. And administratively, having a one-stop shop to communicate, provide a calendar, and interactive functions across your team using GamePlan is critical to continued success and improvement. This is just a little bit of what GamePlan has to offer. I'll stop here, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video and you found it to be valuable. GamePlan is a tool that continues to evolve, and we were very excited about introducing it to the amateur ranks. Major League Baseball has benefited from our system for years, and it's time, thanks to Stack Sports, that GamePlan is available at the organizational and club level at the youth and amateur market. Thank you so much for your time, and I truly hope that you can learn more about GamePlan by signing up for an in-depth demo or reaching out for more information. Thank you, and